welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title, this is going to be another story time. So I know we're overdue for a story time, but I felt like this was the most craziest experience I ever had in my whole entire life on this earth. Me and my grandmother are still in shock to this day how all of that stuff played out, but it's not a crazy story time. It's just I came face to face with a snake. Yep, face to face. Like, if most of you don't know, my mother's side of the family, which I was raised by my grandmother, they were all, born in Brooklyn, New York, but majority of my grandmother's life, she spent her summers in North Carolina. So a lot of my family is, down south. As you know, there's animals all over the damn place. Like, I didn't know that they had flying roaches down there. Yes, they do.
Run.
Listen, I was asleep in the room one night and I saw one on the wall, and then it flew to the other wall. So it was a flying roach. I know what a roach looks like. Like, I'm not crazy. I know exactly what a flying roach looks like. It's just crazy because, like, down south, there's so much open space, there's so much scenery, and I feel like everywhere you go in the United States, there's always a different kind of insect, animal, beast. Like, anywhere you go, there's something that's crazy. My great grandmother, she actually passed away a couple years ago, she still has land there. She has land in North Carolina, and well, we have it, it's still hers, you know what I'm saying, but we, it's keeping it in the family. She has her own land, and as you know, for most people that live in North Carolina, if you live in one of the some of the small towns, you burn your trash in a hole. That's how people got rid of their garbage down south. If you live in a town like that, you have a big hole in your backyard or whatever, and you burn your trash. I would always go and watch my grandmother burn trash. Like, it was so fun. You just was throwing stuff in there. Like, damn, we don't got no plastic bags, no nothing. You just go in and throw it out in the hole. I never experienced, like, being in the city parts of down south, like places like Charlotte. I've been to Greensboro, but I never been to, like, Charlotte. I never been to Raleigh. If I did, I was, like, passing through. You get what I'm saying? Like, Greyhound, we got to get. The closest town that's closer to my family is Lumberton. And every time I say Lumberton, they know Lumberton, but then when I mention where my grandmother actually lives right now, they're like, where the hell is that? And I'm like, it's in North Carolina. It's back up in the woods, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre back in the woods. My great grandmother, she had a shed in her backyard, and it just had a lot of the canned goods. I don't know if she kept canned goods in her home, but I guess it was like an extra storage. It wasn't like outhouse, like you went to use the bathroom. It was like an actual storage with, like, cans of, vegetables, fruits, whatever. She had it in there. This one particular day, my grandmother was about to make dinner for everybody. So she told me to go to the shed to get a can of vegetables. So one thing that I knew growing up, my great grandmother, there was never nothing next to her. Like, there was property in front of her, next to her, on another side, but it wasn't like city. Like, it was like you go down the road, and to get to her house, you have to go down the, it's the regular streets, but then you have to go down a dirt road just to get to my great grandmother's house. After, going there for many summers and visiting my great grandmother, they ended up making a, I don't know what you call it, a lake or a pond. No, it was a pond. They made a pond over there. They ended up, putting one over there, because for years that I went to visit my great grandmother, there was never no water around nowhere. This particular time, the pond was, up and running, I guess. I don't know what animals was in there, but this particular summer I went to go visit her, it was like, everything was done. I guess people go over there to fish, whatever. Her house wasn't really close to the pond, but it was close enough, like it may be like a 3-minute walk to get to the pond. I go to the shed, so I'm not really thinking about anything. I'm not thinking about, like, I'm ready to go sit back down and finish to doing what I was doing. Being in North Carolina is like, especially where my great grandmother was, it wasn't really much to do. Like, I didn't have a cell phone back then, so I was just finding stuff to do around the house, like doing her hair, you know what I'm saying? Y'all talking on the porch, stuff like that. Like, it wasn't really, you know, much to do. I go to get, you know, a can, I forgot what it was, but it was some vegetables. So as I'm leaving out of the shed, there's this snake just looking at me. Like, as I look closer, I see that she is in front of her 2 eggs that's sitting underneath the back porch, because my great grandmother's, she had her house rebuilt, but the house she had before, it had like a back porch, but you could see underneath the porch, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like they built something so people, like the little foundations that have holes in them where you could see a little bit of underneath the porch. Like, it was not, this shit was accessible. The snake is there, and I guess she felt like I was about to take her eggs. I didn't know it was a water snake at the time, but my uncle did tell me, like, you know, when a snake has blue speckled eggs, that's a water snake. And because of her living next to a pond, that's why the snake was able to come over. She looking at me and I'm looking at her, because I know it's a woman, because daddy don't give a damn. He'll protect his eggs, but not like mama snake. So I'm looking at her, she looking at me. And the one thing I will tell you about animals, they are more scared of you than you are of them. You know what I'm saying? Some animals don't know their strength, you know, especially small animals. So it's like her natural habitat, I'm protecting my eggs from this intruder, even though you're at my great grandmother's house under the porch, you know, waiting for your little babies to hatch. You ain't even let nobody know you was staying here. You living rent free under the porch with your eggs, and you looking at me like I'm gonna take your egg. I can't cook it, it's a snake. Her little black tongue come out. So I stick my tongue back out at her. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I stuck my tongue back. So that's all I could do. I'm just like, yo, I was so stuck, because I'm like, do I run? Do I don't run? Do I, like, what do I do? I just booked it. I run on the porch. I'm like, grandma, there's a snake in the backyard. And it hissed at me. So my grandma looks at her mom, my great grandmother, and she goes, she's looking at her. And my great grandma's like, oh, he's fine, just leave him alone. My grandma was like, oh, hell no. She packed up our stuff that night. We went to go stay at my Aunt Pearlie Mae's house for the next couple of days, because my grandma was not with it. She was not with the snake. She was like, you got pet snakes? Because you just saying, oh yeah, leave them alone. That's why it's like, when you're around country people, they used to all of these animals. So they'll see like 3 big ass bears walking in the street. And you like, yo, what the? And they like, yeah, they just going home. But I don't mess with animals, especially ones that can kill me. How do I know that's not venomous? Do you know some snake bites, they start working in a matter of seconds and everything just shut down and you die? Like, no. I've seen too many shows where people had chunks of their leg taken out because of a snake bite. Like, it's crazy. It was just like weird to me. So I go into my room that I was staying in to pack some of my stuff, and I hear the leaves ruffling around the bottom of the porch. And I look out the window, and the snake was going around like the back porch that's into the ground, because even though there wasn't nothing surrounding the back porch, they still had, you know, wood pieces that was holding the porch up in the ground. It took that snake about a good 10 minutes to get around the pole. I said, Grandma, there's a big ass snake out there. So I don't know if it was a python or something, I don't know what it was, but I know it took a while for it to get around that porch. And I was looking, and I was like, yo, that's a big ass snake. And I was thinking it was a python, because pythons, they look small in the front, but they got like heavy bodies. So I was just like, I don't mess with animals. I don't mess with snakes. And I've seen snakes run. Have you ever seen snakes run in the desert? Go on YouTube and look it up. There is snakes that run on their tail in the woods. Now when I go and visit family in North Carolina, I'm taking my bug spray. You know what I'm saying? I don't like mosquitoes. For some reason, they be biting the hell out of me. So I'm bringing the Deep Woods one, not the regular spray, the Deep Woods. I'm getting that. It's endless amount of bugs and stuff. But beauty tip for y'all, I'm gonna interrupt this story. If you ever go down south and you come across a tree and it looks like there's like gray curly stuff hanging down, that is called moss. And one thing that my grandma did growing up, she would take it off the trees and she would, you know, dilute it in water, you know, and let it soak in there. And she would actually use that when she would wash my hair, and it really helped my hair grow. That's a tip that, you know, my grandmother showed me, and I'm sharing it with you guys because I was like, it helped my hair grow. A moss tree, you take a bunch of moss, put it in a bag, and then you put it in some water and let it sit there, you know, and then you use the water to, you know, put on your hair, you know, as you're, you know, and you resume your regular, you know, shampoo, conditioner schedule or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a crazy story time, but it was just crazy to come face to face with a snake that was trying to jump me because she thought I was gonna take her eggs. I'm like, first of all, you a snake. I'm not even trying to be within sniffing distance of your tongue. I don't know. You just caught me slipping when I came out the shed. But I ain't like you ran up on me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you ran up on me. You didn't even give me a like, you ain't even let me know you was behind. You was just posted up like, yeah, this bitch after my eggs. But I never saw that snake again. Plot twist. I never saw that snake again. Being in the woods is like, you see more animals than you do in the city. There's so much more space for animals to maneuver and you know, go around. There's even like, every time it used to rain, a frog will come and sit on our back porch and you could hear him doing that ribbit thing. Like, every time that it rained, he would come and sit on the porch. And that's how you know the rain has stopped, when the frog was on the porch, on the back porch. North Carolina, I feel like, you know, when you're tired of the city and you just want to be around quietness, that's where you go, down south. I love the city, so I would like to be somewhere close or in a city if I go down south. You know what I'm saying? Just so I could feel a little closer to, you know, my original roots. I don't want to turn into no country girl, because one thing about me, I catch an accent real quick. You know what I'm saying? Wherever I'm at, I pick it up. You know, it's horrible, and I don't want a country voice. I don't like the way it sounds. I mean, for some people it sounds nice, but I just don't feel like it would make sense. Hey y'all, like, no, I can't do that. Nope. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have no crazy life stories because, you know, I'm always a good girl. You ain't gonna catch me in no mess, ever. You know, and if there's some mess going on, I'm the first one out the door. Nope, I'm not in the middle of that, because everybody knows when a fight break out, that shit be grabbing other people in the middle of it. You ever been near a fight and ended up in the fight and it wasn't even your fight? That's pretty much it. I just wanted to do this quick video before I went to bed. Let me know if you guys want to see more story times, if you want to hear crazy stories. I'm trying to cook a lot up because I gotta open up my back brain to find out any of the good stories that I'm leaving out that would be good for YouTube videos. You know, I don't want to give no boring ones. I just thought, you know, the snake one was real, like, funny. Other than that, you know, I'm going to bed. But thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified whenever I post a video on my channel. I have some videos up, like my eyebrow video, some makeup videos I have up there. I was thinking about doing like a perfume, like beauty, little like monthly favorites. So let me know if you guys want to see that too. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.